Hi, I'm Chef Eric Bolyard.
Hi, I'm Brigitte Bertrand, Level 3 WSET Sommelier, and today we're presenting to you Drinking in the Kitchen, a show around approachability in food and wine. We're very excited to share this with you.
We hope you enjoy the show. What's up, Brigitte?
What's up,
How you
Chef?
feeling today?
Feeling good.
I'm kind of hungry. Kind of want to maybe have some people over. I rented this really cool place here in Brooklyn.
I love it.
What do you think?
I love it. Yes, we have some guests coming over.
Okay.
But I was thinking maybe that I could maybe find somebody in the street and go to a local wine shop, pull some wine with them, come back up, and then maybe you can make us something on the fly.
I love that idea.
How about let's do this?
I get super excited about throwing a dinner party on the fly. Would love to share that knowledge.
Okay. Yeah. High five. Hello, sir. What's your name?
Eli?
Eli. Are you free right now?
Yes, I am.
Do you like food?
Of course I am.
Do you like wine?
Yep.
Would you like a meal made by a chef, paired by a sommelier?
I'm all for it.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, follow me.
Cool. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Okay.
All right.
So, Eli, welcome to Dip in Our Wine
Yes.
Shop. This is an amazing
can tell.
local wine shop in Williamsburg. Really love the selection. So this is our first step. For our meal, we need a wine.
Cool.
I leave it to you to choose a bottle, and I will choose two other bottles, kind of riffing off your choice. So,
Perfect.
yes, please go ahead.
Awesome. Oh. This one. How about this one?
Okay.
Cool.
And so, what made you want to choose this wine?
It's
If I may
red.
ask? It's red.
Yep.
Okay.
It's red, and due to the weather today, so
Okay.
why not?
Sweet.
Yep.
And what do we traditionally like in reds for your personal taste?
Something heavy.
Something heavy?
Something
Okay.
heavy.
I would say this is a little bit on the lighter side, but definitely still packs a punch. This is a wonderful French Gamay from Morgon.
Awesome.
But yeah, I'll also get something that's kind of along the same taste profile and get one that's a little bit heavier.
Okay.
Okay,
Perfect.
sweet.
All right.
So we have our first bottle, and I'm going to choose two other bottles.
Okay.
Actually, there's an incredible one right behind me. This is a Valpolicella. This is definitely very different from this, but we're gonna lean into kind of like the big juiciness of this. So yes. And then I'm gonna get kind of something in between. And I'm thinking of Pinot Noir because Morgon is right by where they make Burgundy.
Okay.
So let me take a look. So here they have a stunning selection of Pinot Noir. These are different ones around the world. Okay, sweet.
Awesome.
Eli chose this wonderful Morgon. I'm just gonna keep the bottles on the table, okay?
Okay.
So Eli chose this wonderful Morgon, which is a Gamay grape. This is from France. Super light, definitely juicy. To lean into the juiciness, I do have a Valpolicella, which is gonna be a native varietal blend from Italy. And this one's probably gonna be the heaviest, but I feel like you're gonna love this if you love the kind of juice, Gamay fruit bomb. And then I chose a very classic Pinot Noir. So this is from right by Morgon, but this is from Burgundy. And yeah, so they're very close. Gamay and Pinot Noir are different, but they're definitely friends.
Okay.
So let's go back to the apartment and open these bottles with Chef and our surprise guest.
I'm all for that. Yep.
Yes?
Yep. Let's go.
Yes!
Let's
Let's do it. Hi, Chef.
What's up? Come on in, welcome.
Thank you.
How are we doing?
Good.
So everyone, this is Eli. Olivia, nice to meet you.
How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Chef Eric.
Hey, Chef. What's up, Chef?
Thanks for being here.
Hey, nice place.
My name is Eric Bolyard.
Hi, my name is Brigitte Bertrand.
My name is Eli.
Hi, my name is Olivia.
I am a chef here in New York City.
I am a model and actress based here in New York.
Brooklyn, USA. Hey, I'm in the hospitality industry.
Originally born in California, first generation American. My father's French and my mom's from Argentina.
My relationship to food and wine is that I love to eat
and I love a glass of wine. I'm French American and I grew up with a very French family, so we always had, as a kid, I would have like a little bit at special meals, and I feel like it's a really special practice incorporated in my life now. I feel like it brings me closer to my family and my roots.
For me, food and wine is about being present. It's about, in some ways, you know, being very aware of your mortality and actually making every day very much a gift. And I feel like food and wine helps us just kind of anchor in and just take a breath. And I'm a big proponent in trying to share this gospel of sorts that, you know, it's about connecting, it's about being vulnerable, and wine for me is one of the best ways to enjoy a moment with somebody.
What's your favorite thing about your relationship with food and wine?
My favorite relationship with food and wine is the synergy that it creates to elevate an experience. Wine is wine and it's beautiful, and food is food and it's beautiful, but when you put them together, you have an entire new experience and something special comes out of that.
Fact about me, there's a lot of them, is that I almost was on the UCSB fencing team when I was in college, but I went and lived in Buenos Aires instead and drank bottles of Malbec in jazz clubs.
Fact about myself is my absolute insanity for cold plunging and breath work.
My first restaurant job was Michael Jordan Steakhouse.
I don't know what to say. Should I say that? Okay, I'll say that. Fact about me is that last December, I was held at gunpoint on the subway. Thank you.
Where are you from, Chef?
I am born and raised in Long Island. I've been living in New York City for the better part of 20 years and spent time cooking in Spain, London, and Italy.
Brooklyn, USA.
Born and raised, huh?
Born and raised, sir. Yep.
Right. What's your favorite thing about Brooklyn?
Brooklyn. I would say the culture.
What about the culture?
The culture is unforgettable. It's a culture you wake up, you smell it, you feel it, you experience it. That is all it is. It's just a culture.
So please make yourself comfortable, love. We went to dip in our wine shop. He actually chose a bottle of Morgon.
Ooh, I love Beaujolais.
Yeah, so this is from Beaujolais region. This is Gamay grape. Super light, very approachable. We can almost like chill this a little bit. Off of his choice, I kind of like chose two other wines, kind of riffing off a little bit. So I do have this Burgundy Pinot Noir. So Burgundy is right next to Beaujolais in France. But in Beaujolais, they plant Gamay grape, and then in Burgundy for red, they plant Pinot Noir. Kind of want to like lean into the big like fruitiness of this initial wine. I got this Valpolicella.
Ooh, Italian.
Yeah, which is from Italy. And basically this is like a mix of different native varietals, so like non-international, so not like things that like we know, like Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, and yeah, like super awesome blend. So I'm gonna open these up, and yeah, let me know like when we taste. I have a spit bucket out, so basically I'm just gonna be pouring a little bit in each glass, and then if you want to swallow, you can swallow. If you're like, yeah, I'm not really like into kind of this mouthfeel, that's where the spit bucket comes in. You want to swallow everything, there's no judgment here, there are snacks here, so yeah. First, I'm actually going to start with the wine that you chose. So yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna be pouring a little bit since we are gonna be keeping, I really recommend that we choose maybe like our favorite and that we'll keep for the meal. So that's why I'm not like getting too
Well, I need some inspiration, definitely a direction to go from.
Yes, so our guest first.
I wouldn't necessarily
Service never stops.
I wouldn't necessarily cook something with Beaujolais the same that I would cook something with
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
bigger Italian one.
How
Yeah.
is it? So I spin it and then I smell it
Yeah.
and then I try it.
So, so I poured just a little bit. Also, like super fun because like you can really spin that wine. We're spinning the wine just so that it kind of becomes contact with oxygen. So the wine just opens up. It's kind of like giving like the wine a warm hug, kind of like a hello.
Like we're doing it with Eli the stranger off the street.
Yeah.
We're giving a little spin, opening it up, getting the conversation going.
Yeah.
So I see a streak. So what does that mean?
So a streak, usually that's what they call legs. So that's an indication about like kind of like the alcohol level. So if you see a really long streak, that means that, she's packing a punch. She's packing a punch.
Gotcha.
And then to answer your question, so also part of the experience of tasting wine is the color. So first, like you pouring a little bit in the glass, you're kind of interacting, put your nose in. So we're working with our different senses here. And then, yeah, like, I don't know, what are you guys kind of getting with this one? Just like one word, just like what's popping up in your mind. Vinegar, yeah. Yeah, no, but absolutely, I could see that.
Oh, it's just spicy.
How about you, Chef?
Getting some kind of like high tone, bright fruit.
Okay, yeah. Let's down the hatch. Oh, that's delish.
It's a good choice, right?
Yeah. Super clean. And like definitely like strawberries, a little bit of
Yeah,
like
red fruit.
blackberry. Yeah. Definitely like more like red fruit.
Yeah, this
A
one's
little
really
cassis kind of.
Yeah.
It's a great choice. I think.
Yeah.
It's a great choice.
It's a great choice.
Who knew we pulled you off the street? We knew you were gonna pull something nice off the shelf.
I mean, if you just saw the way he's dressed, like,
I mean, yeah, he wasn't gonna pick. He wasn't gonna pick a bad wine.
You didn't come to mess around.
yeah.
Not at all.
Okay, sweet. So that's our wine number one. Gamay from Beaujolais.
It's really delicious.
Yeah, absolutely. So next I'm pouring the Pinot Noir. So yeah, like I said, this is like, this is from Burgundy. So Burgundy and Beaujolais are definitely neighbors, but they're doing different things. So already in the color, you see like it's different.
Yeah.
I feel like this first one was like a little bit more kind of like purplish. And then yeah, so we're doing a little twirl. And then like when I'm kind of doing like it's kind of like you're sucking air in a little bit, just like a little bit, but you don't have to do that.
Okay.
Honestly, like the main thing that like I just try to remind people is like, wine is supposed to be about pleasure. Wine's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be
Like-
stuffy.
Don't get too much in your head. And like when I'm asking you things, it's more kind of being like, what is your brain telling you now that you're in contact with this, you know? And I'm always curious because sometimes it's totally stuff I would never think of. And I totally think like vinegar, yeah, there was kind of like almost like a balsamic, like a cooked balsamic quality to the first one. And then yeah, learning your twirl. I mean, even I'll be in the car with like my coffee and I'll be twirling and I'm like, oh wow.
I can smell the cork.
You can smell the cork? Yeah, a little bit.
Just want a little bit, yes.
Yeah, so it's,
Yeah.
but it's not like that wet cardboard.
Yeah.
But this definitely, yeah, there's almost like a forest floor kind of aspect to it. Yeah, you know, kind of like when you're like walking in those crunchy leaves after a little bit of
you
rain.
get- it's this, it has a little like earth to it.
Yeah. What's one word?
I don't love the smell of this one.
No, that's okay.
I think,
Maybe you'll like the taste better.
I hope so. Right. That's usually how it works. But, yeah, I would just say earthy.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
How about you, Chef?
Yeah, I'm getting that forest floor thing. Almost a little like olive brine. Like a dark
Totally
olive.
different than the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, you see them. Not a fan.
With love.
With love.
No, I like it. I like it.
This definitely has like a lot more structure.
there's
So what I
more-
mean by structure is that like, I don't know about you, but I can like feel it on the sides over here compared to the other one was kind of a little bit more airy.
It's like the tannins. Like
Yeah,
the
those are the
drying out
tannins,
of the
yeah.
mouth feeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
So next, this one, the Valpolicella usually is definitely going to be the most full-bodied thing that we that we, are gonna be tasting today. Usually I would give this like a few hours, but some are actually like, you can approach it like just now. But I'm just giving like, just letting you know.
Well, the beauty is that we're opening it and then I'm gonna go get some ingredients and then cook. So we have time for the wine to keep opening it up.
Yeah, and then like I said, like, kind of based on how we're tasting, we'll all agree on kind of like what was the star. So yes, this still kind of stays pretty similar color. I'm seeing a little bit more of like a rustiness kind of color.
Yeah.
Usually that's like an indicator of it's been aged a little bit. I'm just trying to see what year this is. This is 2020, so yeah.
Okay.
Seen 5 years, a lot can happen in 5 years.
I like this one.
Yeah.
This one's cool.
Yeah, I'm getting almost like a violetness to it, kind of like
There's definitely a floral thing going on.
See, this one I'll pass. It's totally different. What do you
Yeah, but I think it's pretty if you give it a
like
second.
that? Really? I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I also think,
I think this needs a minute, but I totally see what you mean.
Yeah.
I mean, it needs a minute to open up.
Yeah.
Yours is mine.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have faith in this wine in an hour or two.
Yeah.
But I'm such a fan of Beaujolais, so I was thrilled that you picked that, and it's such a good food wine. So for a chef, it's very versatile.
Keep in mind, I have a history with Paris. All right, that's why.
Okay.
I saw that stuff.
Okay. I love having a history with Paris.
Want to hear more about that once we get over dinner?
What happened in Paris? Okay, so let's take some votes. Who votes for wine number 1? Oh, okay.
That was easy.
So difficult. Okay, amazing.
I love that our new friend
I know.
that we pulled off of the corner that
Yeah,
That's what new friends
picked this amazing wine,
Yeah.
and it's all our favorite.
absolutely.
How about that?
Yeah, and like I think it's like interesting because like this is like part of like the fun also with wine is that you even if you kind of know about stuff, it's like it's always like something exciting to discover. And I think for me, like intellectually, tasting a Gamay and a Pinot Noir like side by side is interesting because they're just from similar places, but as you can see in these two wines, they're very different, though they do have some crossover. Yeah, this is the choice.
Awesome.
Yes. Okay. So I think, Chef, we're gonna let you kind of think about this. Get wheels are turning, and then we're gonna hang out a little bit.
Perfect, yeah.
Do some questions. You maybe sip on one of these one time, and then we'll have an awesome meal cooked by an incredible chef.
Yo.
Oh, hey, Chef.
Hey guys, I am back from the store and we got some goods.
Nice.
So I'm gonna unpack and show y'all what's what. So our protein is going to be chicken. Always a win with Beaujolais. Spatchcocked, which means it's opened up, and that's gonna get you guys fed sooner. We have some maitake mushrooms, some shiitake, king trumpet, and oyster mushrooms. Some cute little potatoes, a humble red cabbage. Some aromatics here, garlic, some shallots, essential, 1 loose red beet. Then we got some wild cards in here, pomegranate seeds, balsamic vinegar, of course some French butter, a bit of Dijon, and some smoked coarse sea salt. It's fancy, but it's humble, and it's going to be comforting and earthy and juicy red fruit, such as the pomegranates, the beet, the earthy sweetness of a red cabbage, and then some earth that'll mix in, which goes really well with Gamay.
So what are what dishes are you gonna make, or how are you gonna bring this all together?
I really wanted to find kind of the base flavors that were coming out of the wine as the sides, the vegetable aromatics, and then I was kind of going to supplement with the protein. So I kind of reversed how maybe one would think about a meal instead of just choosing the main protein first. I wanted to capture those really bright flavors, but still the comforting, earthy flavor of Beaujolais. And we're gonna do a whole roasted chicken, but again, like opened up, flat, so it can cook a little quicker to kind of feed our guests on the fly. This doesn't have to be an overly complicated, intricate 4-hour preparation. We're gonna do this all in under an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
And about how much did you spend for the whole of this, for meal for 4?
I came out at under $60.
Whoa.
So, I mean, for the price of a mediocre salad at Midtown, you can get, feed each one of you. Yeah.
How are you gonna use a
I'm
pomegranate?
excited for that. Like a pomegranate vinaigrette for the roasted chicken. With a little reduced balsamic vinegar. It's going to concentrate the sweetness but still have the acidity, which is essentially mimicking that of the wine. And everyone I think has some balsamic vinegar lying around their cabinet, so I try to use things that weren't too exotic, too unfamiliar, and stuff that you could have half maybe in your pantry and just go grab a few things at the store to entertain some friends on the fly. Grab a bottle, grab a few ingredients, put them together. Some staples: butter, Dijon mustard, sea salt, garlic, shallot, potatoes. The only things that are kind of like out of the ordinary maybe are pomegranate seeds and a beet, So try to make it super approachable and fun.
And I feel like this also really goes to show that, even if you're like renting a place with a kitchen, that you can get like a few just like pretty regular things that maybe at the place they don't have, but that you're not necessarily completely breaking the bank if you want to make a meal. So while you kind of get everything ready, we are going to play a game.
Ooh.
Yes. Okay. So Chef,
work
you do
hard
your thing.
and play hard.
Okay. You work hard, play hard. This is a card game that I created, so for fun, because so it's kind of like Hearts of Humanity inspired, and they're open-ended questions around food and wine. So I'm just gonna like lay them out kind of like tarot card style. I called this card the Hungry Wild Wine.
My card is, what is the best thing to be food obsessed about in your opinion?
Yes.
Is this like can this be like a favorite food?
Whatever comes up to mind.
I think my favorite thing is when I have a really niche dish that I'm obsessed with for like 3 weeks, and then I hate it after that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I find my favorite thing, I eat that nonstop, and then I never want it ever again. And I think that those moments in my life are really fun and special, and I have a favorite snack to eat nonstop. And then, you move on to the next one.
Wow, what is your favorite cuisine and why? It have to be rice and beans.
Rice and beans. You're like, that's a whole cuisine. Just rice and beans. You're like,
I love that.
It has to be rice and beans, all right? Because
I love that.
It's Caribbean, and it's my to-go dish, to be honest with you. If you go to my apartment right now, I have a pot of rice and beans.
Nice.
It lasts me the whole week, so every night I'll dip in and have some rice and beans. But I would have to say rice and beans. It's just an easy dish. It's an easy dish.
But it's humble, it's nutritious.
Humble, nutritious, and you can
It's fed the world,
There you go. You can have
for
your
thousands of
beer.
years.
You can have your red wine, white wine, beer, even champagne. So I would have to go with rice and beans.
Yeah. I kind of want like 2 cards. Is wine art? Well, I would say wine is definitely art. Most of the time when I describe winemakers for me are closer to musicians than they are to anything else. And I really believe that there is a transference of energy when people make wine, and that's palpable in the wine. So that passion and that like understanding of like the vine and the soil and that honoring, I feel like comes through. And I feel like for me, art has to do about honoring something deep and untangible, but that creates an emotion. That for me is kind of like a simple way of describing art. So definitely wine is poetry in a glass. It is definitely an art form, and one that can be very surprising. Okay, I was gonna say, Chef, while we have you in front of us, you should pull a card. Just point it to a card. I know your hands are full, and I'll ask it to you. So, is champagne always for victory or also in defeat?
D, all of the above. No questions asked. I drink champagne when I'm happy, sad, frustrated, overjoyed. It is my desert island beverage, actually.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Oh my god, I love that.
Yes.
Yes.
Champagne is a gift from the gods.
Amazing. Yes.
That's an easy answer.
I love it. I love it. Well, Chef, we're gonna leave you to continue, and we're actually gonna have a little wine class, like kind of like I would more say like a sensory kind of experience. I'll tell you more about it in the other room. So we'll leave you to it, and thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
I'll be busy.
Yeah, rolling.
Okay.
Action.
Okay, so welcome to this mini sensory activation. So how does this relate to wine? What we're doing today is inspired by a really awesome TV show that dives into more of the sensory aspects of wine. So inspired by that, with as well kind of using relaxation methods and sound healing, I'm first going to guide you through some different sound things, so different sound instruments. And then afterwards, once we're doing that, I will actually be, when you still have the blindfolds on, I'll be putting 3 different ingredients that are flavor notes from the wine. And then we're going to be retasting when we're done with this. So part of this is just to ground you, to help kind of activate your senses, so that it also activates your palate so that you can enjoy this even more. Okay, are we down?
Yep.
Okay, so it just asks you to put your blindfold on, just to deprive one sense so we can help on the others. We're just clearing the space. Getting connected to the Earth's frequency. And next we're going to do the sound bowl. This is going to be a little bit more grounding. We're just going to feel the vibrations and just let them echo through your body. And just let whatever comes up, comes up. Whatever sensations, visions. So now I'm going to go get the components and I'm going to place them under your nose.
Yeah, I did, Mike.
Okay. So this is the first smell. Just let it kind of come in. And then at the end we'll talk about what we smelled. So just so this is our first smell. Did we get a good whiff of the first smell? Mm-hmm. Okay. Next we have the second smell. And these are all notes that we have in the wine. I'm coming to you, Eli. Did we get the second smell? And then the third smell.
Oh, my favorite.
Beautiful. And take one big deep breath. And we're going to seal the space. And whenever you're ready, just slowly take your blindfold off. What do we think?
Wonderful.
I love that.
I loved it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's normal, so if you do get emotional.
Oh no, my makeup
Okay.
is all over the
Okay.
place. But it was really nice.
Yeah. Okay, so what did we think the different smells were? The first one, kind of sweeter.
Was it hibiscus flowers?
What's your,
The first one,
yeah.
I didn't get it. I'm more into like the second and the third one.
So you don't know.
Yeah, just the first one I didn't.
Oh, it's jelly.
It's strawberry jelly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So with the Beaujolais, we do have something that's super, yeah. But it's okay. That's part of like why we're doing this, and like this is totally something you can buy any of these sound healing tools online, have them shipped over, you know, and then experiment with your friends and do these kind of things. The second one was
Oh yeah, I know that mustard.
Oh,
mustard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was so
No, I know
confused with
that.
this one.
So I had like mustard seed is definitely one of the elements,
I know
and it's
that,
funny
yeah.
enough that actually Chef Eric is going to be using mustard. I saw him. I was like, oh, I spotted with my little eye. And then our third
I know this one.
Yeah.
is rosemary. Yeah,
It smells so good.
just really amazing.
Yeah.
And then how did we feel in our bodies?
good.
It was amazing.
Yeah?
It was relaxing, and like I said, this is my best day in a long time.
Oh my God, best day in a long
In a
time.
long time.
Amazing. So
time.
let's actually go retaste the wine.
Yeah, in a long time.
And I want you to just take a minute when you do take a first sip of the
Okay.
wine. Just close your eyes and just rethink about everything that just happened.
Cool.
And yeah.
Cool.
Okay, sweet.
excited.
Let's do it. So we just finished our little wine class. We're gonna be revisiting the wine, and we're very excited to see what you've made for us.
I know, it's been like a kind of quick fire.
Yeah.
Like, can I get it done before sound healing situation?
Yeah.
But here we are.
Here we are. You know, after we just did this, you know, really relaxing, wonderful exercise, let's revisit the wine and kind of tell me if you have different impressions, kind of if what happened in there, you know, has changed how you view the wine. And of course, keeping in mind that the wine has had a little bit more time to open.
Okay.
So yeah, let's put our nose back in. So while we were at the end of the sound healing, I had you smell some strawberry jam, some mustard, and some rosemary. Are these things that we're kind of picking up in the wine?
Honestly, I feel like I can taste a lot more of the fruits than I noticed before. Like what it was made from. I feel like before I didn't really pick up on any of that, so I think it was really helpful.
So yeah, maybe you're zoning in more on the strawberries since
Yeah.
you smelled the strawberry specifically. Amazing. How about for you, Eli?
Yeah, strawberry and also
Yeah. But are we picking up any of like that mustard kind of seed or the rosemary?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so happy we got to do this. And for our grand finale, looks like Chef Eric is finishing the plating.
That looks really good.
Oh, thanks, Olivia.
That looks delicious.
We got the earthy potatoes, 3 types of mushrooms, touch of rosemary, a little bit of shallots, just really like comforting earth, soil. This is gonna brighten it up and balance it all. I grated a little bit of raw beet into the raw cabbage. It gives freshness, it gives sweetness, to kind of counteract the funk. There's a little bit of balsamic vinegar, a little bit of raw shallot that just tempers in there, and just salt. And releases the juices of the vegetable. So that's gonna be like the crunchy, fresh, bright counterpoint to pick up kind of the red fruit, the high tones of the wine. The chicken that's kind of roast in Dijon, very often used in Beaujolais. We roasted it super high, brought it down, and then we made a little reduction of the wine we had with balsamic vinegar. Took that down to a little bit of a syrup, added some pomegranate seeds, just bought them right in a container, you know, no frills, and just browned a little butter, mix it all together over the top. For
That's
3 to
amazing.
4 people.
Round of applause for Chef. Yeah.
I'm so excited right now.
Well, that makes me happy.
We don't do this for nothing, you know. I think this is like the reason why I got into hospitality was just to see people excited and like eat with pleasure and like have a good time.
Yeah, there's food, there's wine, there's people. When those 3 collide, it's like, becomes a world unto itself
Yeah.
versus just any one of those individual pieces.
Chef, c'était magnifique.
Merci,
C'est
monsieur.
très magnifique. Cheers. Cheers.
I wouldn't be offended if you just kept eating out of it.
So how do we feel about like the mushrooms and like the different flavors that are kind of going on? Like do you kind of sense how like those things are kind of working together in a specific kind of way that's kind of elevating both without, you know, each component being amazing, but the components coming together being a whole new thing?
I like how they're mirrored in the food. I feel like the sound bath experience with smelling the rosemary and then the strawberry jelly really like, it's so cool to have it all tied together, you know what I'm saying? I feel like people don't experience that where they have the opportunity to really smell the essence of something and then taste it in food and then pair them together. So I think it's really cool, and I can definitely taste the rosemary and the potatoes and the Dijon mustard on the chicken. I really like it. I think it's awesome.
How about you, Eli? What do you think about the interactions?
It's amazing. Also, Chef, tell me more about the sauce.
He's like, not worried about your question, just worried about the
I
sauce.
am, but I'm just curious. The sauce add more flavor.
That means we both do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the sauce add more flavor to everything.
For sure, you have the sweetness of the sweet acidity of the pomegranate, which is really like something I pulled from the wine, and we use some of the wine to reduce it to just like literally, like Olivia said, I love that mirroring the flavors. A little balsamic vinegar just to give some, again, sweet acidity to it, which is what I get out of Beaujolais. And then we add some richness with just quickly browning a little butter, which adds this like nutty kind of sweet complexity to it. So yeah.
Yeah, well, Chef, sit down, let's cheers, and then let's finish all this food.
All right.
Yeah, well, you know.
Worked up an appetite, so.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you all so much for coming today. You have been wonderful guests. Thank you for being part of Drinking in the Kitchen. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers, cheers, cheers. We haven't got to what you're saying. Oh, you look like you were going to work.
Olivia, you're incredible.
Brigitte,
so
you're
much.
incredible. You guys are amazing.
Yeah.
This has been so much fun.
Yeah. Cheers to us.
What a motley crew.
Yeah. Okay, time to eat.
Here.
Okay, let's